Man, what a great time it is to be a fan of professional wrestling. All Elite Wrestling is something that I've been talking about here on the channel, not because I am excited about what is to be with the company. And the company is a brand new company. It's getting started from the ground up. But the one thing that I think we can all sit down and agree with is the fact that competition has been something that has been sorely missed in the world of professional wrestling. And there might not be that initial, we're going to compete with the WWE. But everything that they do, the WWE is taking as competition. WWE is countering moves. Every single move that AEW makes, it's competition. AEW offers a contract to somebody. WWE is going to double it, sometimes triple it. AEW is going to give you 2 or 3 years. WWE is going to give you 5 years. Everything that WWE is doing right now is a direct move that is going to counter AEW. This, especially after last night, I don't know how anyone is not excited about this. AEW is bringing us, the fans, something that we've needed for so long. They're touting an alternative. But man, we are all excited about AEW, and the one thing that I hope for is that this competition makes WWE better. The fan rally last night in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand Pool. If you guys watched it, I was at the NXT show in Toms River, New Jersey, and I was legitimately watching the fan rally on my phone while the War Raiders were in the ring with Fabian Eichner and Barthel. And then it bled into the main event, and I was watching the fan rally at the same time. Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano were in a tag team match against Ricochet and the Velveteen Dream. That's how invested I was in this fan rally. But at the end of it all, it was a lot of news that we kind of anticipated. There was nothing really groundbreaking that was announced. I know a lot of people on social media still, and I don't understand it, they're putting down AEW for whatever reason. They don't really understand the hype. The glorified t-shirt comments. The roster sucks. They haven't had a show yet. A TV deal wasn't announced. I didn't expect the TV deal to be announced. They have a show to put on. They're not going to give you a fan rally with the biggest news that we all want without giving us names on a roster, without putting a show together. The TV deal is going to be the last in line of the things to be announced. They need other things to happen first before the TV deal is even announced. So I didn't expect the TV deal to be announced. And we're going to talk about that in this very video, man. I'm going to go over all the biggest things that were announced at the AEW Double or Nothing fan rally at the MGM Grand Pool. We're going to go over it all. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today in this quick update video. If you guys missed any of the content that I've provided for you on the channel so far this week, man, please go and check all that stuff out. We talk about possible Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles being offered money from AEW to join their roster. I got Resident Evil 2 remake gameplay. My first counter with the liquor. Unbelievable. NXT, the debut of Eric Bugenhagen. Velveteen Dream bypasses champ before Gargano's North American title. We talked about Becky Lynch being suspended, quote-unquote, on Monday Night Raw. Then she showed up after being suspended on SmackDown to slap the shit out of Triple H. If you guys missed any of that content, live on the channel right now, make sure you all go and check that out. Links will be in the annotation that you see in the top right corner of the screen. Today's Off the Script is actually going to be close to 2 hours. We're going to talk more AEW, but this time, the big rumors of Randy Orton and the Usos possibly jumping ship to All Elite Wrestling. Randy Orton supposedly offered an outstanding deal, over $5 million for 5 years for Randy Orton services, man. We're going to talk about that today at 5 p.m. on Off the Script. Also, the Usos possibly jumping ship to the WWE. I go over it all in the first 35 to 40 minutes of that show today, man. So make sure you guys go and check that out when it is uploaded later today at 5 p.m. Social media, man. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Like I said, on social media, both on Twitter and Instagram. Patreon as well. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Everybody that is a patron got off the script both in video and audio formats almost 15 hours early before it goes live, man. So thank you guys so very much. And follow me on Twitch, JD from New York. I did want to live stream the fan rally like I did the first fan rally, but I was in Toms River, New Jersey last night for the NXT live show in Toms River, man. So let's get into the AEW news. I might as well start off with the stuff that we kind of expected to be announced, and this is no surprise to anybody. Kenny Omega signs on with AEW, full-time contract, named an executive vice president. I think the better question is, who isn't an executive vice president? This was to be expected. All Elite Wrestling had plenty of surprises during their fan rally. We're going to get into all that. Jericho came out, shocked the world with this Kenny Omega announcement. Again, he is going to change the universe with AEW. Now, at the end of the show, Conrad Thompson said that there was one more big announcement, and then they showed a countdown on a cell phone. Obviously, if you guys have been watching Being the Elite, Kenny Omega and the cell phone, him losing his cell phone, that was the big story going into this thing. Suddenly, Kenny Omega came out to announce that he is All Elite with All Elite Wrestling. Omega apologized for making people wait, but he had to deal with the legalities. He signed his contract yesterday morning, is what he stated, and it's official. He is a full-time member of the AEW roster. He looked pretty damn sharp in that new suit, man. Then, at the end of his announcement, Jericho came out and had a stare down with Kenny Omega. Now it is set for Double or Nothing, I'm presuming. It is going to be Alpha versus Omega 2 for Double or Nothing. I knew Kenny Omega was going to be there. I knew Kenny Omega was going to be with AEW. We don't know the contract situation with him. We don't know how long he signed. We don't know the amount of money. We may never know those details, but Dave Meltzer, I'm sure, will be talking about this on The Observer. But as far as this, man, people are going crazy over this Jericho versus Omega 2. I might be in the minority with this. I'm not saying that I'm not excited about it. I'm just thinking as far as what they could do differently with Double or Nothing. I might be a little picky here. And I don't want to come off as entitled, or I don't want to come off as negative in any way, because I've been super excited, more so than a lot of people in the community, about AEW. But I feel if AEW is going to put on a show, this is what I really want them to do. I want them to not follow in the same footsteps as All In. I don't want it to be a show that is very reminiscent of something that we see from a New Japan, or a show that we've seen from a Ring of Honor. I want them to be All Elite. I don't want them to have the same production values of what we've seen at All In. I want them to amp it up. I want them to step their game up. And that bleeds into the match card. I don't want to see matches that I've seen already. Now, Omega and Jericho 1 was a fucking classic. The fact that they're doing it again, and maybe they could prove me wrong or prove everybody else that's in my boat wrong, but I don't see them doing what they did at Wrestle Kingdom better here in 2019. I just don't see it. And like I said, I might be in the minority here. I'm not excited about Jericho Omega 2 at Double or Nothing. I really feel that Kenny Omega could have been given a better opponent, and Jericho could have been given a better opponent. Now, I would have loved to seen Jericho and maybe Pentagon, because he teased on social media that he didn't want the Lucha Brothers anywhere near him. Stay away from me on social media, he said, when he announced that they were signing quote-unquote elusive or exclusive contracts. That's what I wanted to see. But we're getting Alpha and Omega 2. Many people are excited about it. I'm sure it's going to be a great match. I'm sure that they're going to do whatever they can to be better than what they gave us at Wrestle Kingdom, but I don't want this sameness to already start bleeding into AEW. So we got that announcement, and that was the very last thing that we seen at the end of the show. But Kenny Omega is signed with AEW. This is no surprise to anybody. Now, the other big announcement was that they confirmed a partnership with AAA. And AAA General Manager Dorian Roldan made an announcement official via a video during the fan rally. On AEW's social media account, they put it up and let everybody hear this exciting announcement. He says, and I quote, "First thing I want to do is congratulate Tony, Cody, and the Young Bucks for this great initiative and for this great company, All Elite Wrestling. The truth is that we are very excited. I know that you are going to change the world of wrestling." And well, in Mexico, unfortunately, we could not attend the present day, but we are very happy to be able to make this announcement with you. The announcement is that AAA Lucha Worldwide and All Elite Wrestling come together in a new alliance that will present new surprises to the fans, exchange of talent, surprise people, and well, all the surprises that we have this year. This is actually a great announcement. Now, the one negative, I have to point this out, the one negative that I see here with, them partnering with a AAA and, these lesser known, companies to the American audience. I don't want them to rely, and this is something that I know a lot of people are feeling. I'm not the only one in this boat. I don't want them to rely on other companies to put on shows. I want them to sign their own talent. I want them to have their own roster. I want them to put on their own shows with their own roster, with their own signed talent. I don't want them to rely too much on other promotions to flesh out an entire card. Now, it's great to partner with promotions. This is a great deal for someone like me who doesn't really know AAA all that well. This is going to put more eyes onto the AAA product. I know a lot of people in the United States who watch professional wrestling might not know who AAA is. They might not know any of the talent in AAA. This is a great deal to get exposure and eyes on their talent and give those guys a bigger spotlight and a bigger stage. I just don't want them to rely too heavily on using other promotions' talent to build their shows. But this is a great deal. And this is why I've been so high on the Mae Young Classic and WWE bringing in NXT UK talent. I didn't know of any of these guys before WWE signed them up and put them on NXT UK. I didn't know many of the women on the Mae Young Classic, and now here we are. Now I'm a little bit more familiar with them. It's going to be the same thing here. I love finding new talent. I love seeing what else is out there, and this is exactly the biggest positive here for AAA signing with All Elite Wrestling. More eyes on something that we might not be too familiar with. And I think this is a great move. Like I said, I just don't want them to rely. I don't want them to go into that bag too many times and rely on talent that isn't exclusive to AEW. But AAA is signed with All Elite Wrestling, and I think it's going to be great in the end. Now, with the Kenny Omega announcement, we had Pentagon and Phoenix come out as well. They crashed the party. They actually interrupted the Young Bucks, who did a lot of ego boosting during the fan rally. They were hyping themselves up. They were stroking their own egos. We're the best tag team in the world. Tag team wrestling needs to be at the forefront. There was a few, cheap shots at WWE. Tag team wrestling hasn't been done right. Tag team wrestling's been disrespected. You can't watch American wrestling television and even find tag team wrestling anymore or find it to be entertaining or interesting. We're going to change that. Tag team wrestling, and they made it a priority here to mention this. Tag team wrestling is going to be one of the most important aspects of AEW. So they said that. The Lucha Brothers came out. They confronted the Young Bucks. Now we had Phoenix, Super Kick, Nick Jackson, and I believe it was Matt Jackson who took the package pile driver right on the stage from Pentagon Jr. This match is set, and I couldn't ask for a better tag team match in 2019, man. This is going to be an absolute fucking barn burner. It's going to be a war. The Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks at Double or Nothing. And if that is not the main event, I do believe the Young Bucks stated that tag team wrestling is going to be in the main event in 2019. If this is not the main event of Double or Nothing, I don't know what they're doing. Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, yes, it's a main event match. It's not something that should be headlining this show. We've seen it already. Most of the fans seen it at Wrestle Kingdom. For me personally, this is going to be the first time I'm going to see the Young Bucks and the Lucha Brothers in the ring together. I'm excited about it. I'm very excited about it. Tag team wrestling is so dead in the United States that if they really want to make a statement, if they want to put it in other tag teams' heads about tag team wrestling, and this is what we're going to do for all tag teams that want to come on into AEW, this is going to be used as a stage, a platform, as an invitation to other tag teams to come on in. What do you expect from tag team wrestling? This is it. It's one of those things that needs to be fixed in WWE. They know it. The Bucks know it. Everybody in All Elite Wrestling knows it. So use this as your foundation for what tag team wrestling needs to be in 2019. If this is not the main event, man, I would be shocked. This needs to be the main event of Double or Nothing. No question. I loved the fact that they came out and interrupted. Everybody was fucking hyped. I even tweeted on social media during the NXT Live event. Young Bucks, Lucha Brothers, take my fucking money for Double or Nothing. Unbelievable stuff, man. So the roster, with everybody else that was announced. Jericho was there. We know him. Pac, Hangman, everybody from the last fan rally. Omega signs. Pentagon and Phoenix signed. We have the best friends, Chucky T and Trent Beretta. Another addition to the tag team roster in AEW. Those were the biggest names there at the fan rally in Las Vegas. This is the entire roster so far. Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, Kenny Omega, Jericho, Hangman Page, SCU, that's Scorpio Sky, Frankie Kazarian, and Christopher Daniels. Pac, they referred to him as Prince Pac during the pre-show. Lucha Brothers, Pentagon and Phoenix. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF. The Best Friends, Chucky Taylor, and Trent Beretta. Jimmy Havoc was a new signing. That was actually made a couple of days prior to the fan rally in Las Vegas. Sema, don't know who that is. Aja Kong. We have Yuka Sakazaki, Sammy Guevara, Joey Janela. Guevara actually is the AAA Cruiserweight Champion. I'm very interested in seeing him too because he did a lot of gloating himself that he is the best in the world. So I'm very interested in seeing him as well on a more regular basis. Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy was signed. They did a YouTube video about his signing. If you guys don't know who Jungle Boy is, that is Luke Perry from 90210, Luke Perry's son. Jungle Boy. So he signed with AEW. Sonny Kiss. Sonny Kiss is someone who has worked on Lucha Underground. Sonny Kiss is someone who's worked on House of Glory. I've seen him on House of Glory a few times here and there. So that's going to be a good signing. Very impressive stuff from him as well. And we'll see what happens there with Sonny Kiss. Brandy Rhodes, obviously, you guys know she's going to be in the women's division. Britt Baker, Penelope Ford, Nyla Rose, someone who I'm not familiar with, and Kylie Ray. This is someone that WWE was interested in. WWE did not nail down a contract for Kylie Ray. She ended up in All Elite Wrestling. Now, if you guys are like me, who don't know some of these signings, I don't want you to go out there and immediately shit on the roster because they're doing things that they need to. They're doing things that they need to fill the roster. They're doing things about bringing in new talent that you might not be familiar with. That doesn't mean that you won't end up liking this talent. Don't shit on something that you don't really know about. And if you're on social media and you're following anything All Elite Wrestling, so many people are hyped up about this that with all the new signings, they've actually posted several clips of all of these new signings that you might not know of. So if you're on social media and you see some of these clips, that's all you need to know, man. Go out and check some of the clips. Go out and put these individuals' names in the search engine on YouTube. Find out what you don't know. And when All Elite Wrestling gets started up, I love one of the biggest aspects about a new company or finding someone new is to see what they're about, and I'll make my judgment there. I always give everybody a chance when it comes to professional wrestling. So this is great, man. That's a very impressive roster. A very impressive roster so far for AEW. Now, A lot of people are talking about the TV deal. The TV deal was not announced. And I don't think it's going to be announced until we get through Double or Nothing. I am making a prediction about the TV deal. I think the TV deal is going to be announced sometime in the summer. And with the TV deal, first, they need to assemble a roster together. And they need standout names. Clearly, they got Jericho. You know, you could lump Kenny Omega into that. You could lump Cody Rhodes into that. Mixed with everybody else that they have on the roster right now. And you know, there's more to come. I'm assuming Kota Ibushi's going to sign. You know, I don't know who else they have in the pipeline. But I know if a TV deal is coming, that they need a major name outside of what they have announced already. And they need a CM Punk-like name. They need the rumors of a Goldberg for a couple of appearances here. Or someone like that. Just to, I guess, entice the TV deal. But with the TV deal, I'm sure it's coming anyway because of the Khan family's reputation. So the TV deal pretty much, if you listen to Meltzer, it's on the table. It's there if they want it. They were in Atlanta for the Super Bowl. And it's either going to be TBS, TNT. It's going to be something major like that. Meltzer reported that the TV deal is going to be the biggest non-WWE TV deal since the days of WCW Nitro. So you know it's a big deal. But adding a big name like a CM Punk or a Bill Goldberg or someone like that, or Randy Orton that's rumored, you know, or an Usos, you know, those top-of-the-line WWE names that are on the free agent brink, AJ Styles, bringing in a Shinsuke Nakamura, guys like that, that's only going to help their cause. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, a lot of people have shit on AEW. I believe the Young Bucks mentioned on social media, and I know that I tried to put the email in for the presale. Presale tickets, the ticket information, the presale tickets are available. And they're not available, but you have to sign up for an email list, and then they'll email you information about the presale tickets. That is February 11th, I believe, Monday. But with the announcement of Double or Nothing and the tickets for the show, they sent you to allelitewrestling.com to sign up for this email blast, and the site crashed within seconds. Nobody could access the site. People were waiting upwards towards an hour just to log into the site. And the MGM Grand Arena, I don't know how many people the MGM Grand Arena actually holds. I know All In did about 11,000 people. The MGM Grand, I mean, it's Double or Nothing, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be close to double that number. Maybe you're looking at 16, 17, 18,000 people. I'm not sure about the actual capacity of the MGM Grand, but the Young Bucks tweeted out, or they released information that over 12,000 people as of last night signed up for the pre-sale tickets. Over 12,000 people in one evening. I don't even know what the number is at right now in the early hours of the morning. It might be well past the capacity for the building. I don't know. So if you don't think that this is a big deal, if you think that this is all hype right now, the fact that 12,000 people signed up for pre-sale tickets, that's pretty extraordinary. The fact that over 50,000 people were watching this live on YouTube alone last night is pretty extraordinary. And I'm not counting Twitter, I'm not counting Facebook, and I'm not counting Instagram, where this fan rally was also streamed live. So if you think that this is all hype and that this is all bullshit and the WWE shouldn't be worried, you need to get off of that ignorant train, and you need to start opening up that there is going to be competition for WWE. No one should want AEW to fail. Nobody should be out there saying that AEW is going to kill WWE or put WWE out of business. We don't want that. I want pro wrestling. I want pro wrestling to be good. Pro wrestling's going to be on Monday. We're going to have Raw. I only hope that with AEW, Raw is going to get better. That's what I want. I've wanted that for years. I'm not jumping ship to AEW, and I'm not going to abandon WWE. I want AEW to legitimately make WWE better. You see how they're running around fucking nervous now with all the announcements from AEW. Good. Good. They haven't had anyone do that in years. They deserve it. And all the mistakes that they made are now coming to fruition, and they're haunting them because of what AEW is doing. That's what I want. I want them to be scared. And when they're scared, hopefully they'll start making the right decisions. I want pro wrestling to be fun. I want it to be good. I want it to flourish. This is only a great thing. Raw on Monday. AEW, if they get a TV deal, Tuesday night. Wednesday, NXT. You got fucking SmackDown on Friday, right? And Impact's on Friday, if you guys watch Impact. That's a lot of fucking wrestling during your week, man. That's only a good thing. This is something that we need to start embracing. I'm not sitting here lobbying for a job with Cody. I don't have Cody on speed dial. I'm not tweeting them frantically about a commentary job. I don't want any position in the company. If I was to get anything in the seat that I'm in, I want my work to show for it. I don't want to be given something. I don't want to beg for something. I'm genuinely excited about AEW because of what this is going to do, not for the fans, but for WWE as well. For WWE as well. When was WWE at the top of their game? When WCW was pushing their shit in. I want AEW to push WWE shit in. Before we get out of here, guys, Cody Rhodes made an interesting announcement. Cody Rhodes thinks about taking WWE down all the time with AEW. It's not really the mentality he should have, but this is just someone who's genuinely excited about what's going on. He was speaking to Pro Wrestling Sheet, and Cody said he does think about going after WWE a lot. He said the story is a romantic one with Dusty Rhodes' youngest son coming back to avenge his father. But that might not be 100% the case because he has people who can pull him back. He says, and I quote, "Listen, it sounds super romantic when you think about it. Dusty Rhodes competed with Vince McMahon, and he lost. Here is his youngest son, who's going to do whatever he can to cut Vince McMahon's head off. It sounds super Game of Thrones, so in the back of my mind, when it's just me, I think about it a lot. But again, I have these guys with me who have different visions. You can't turn the clock back on old wrestling. WCW was what it was, and it was freaking awesome. What AEW is going to be is a whole separate animal." Cody then went on to thank the fact that he has his co-presidents who can help dial him back. They do still have a plan on using elements from older programming. And they have the wins and losses that they mentioned. And they're going to continue to dip into certain aspects of the old school that they feel might still work in 2019. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with AEW as a whole when they put on Double or Nothing, and what happens after Double or Nothing, and what TV network deal that they land. But the wrestling landscape is getting more and more exciting by the week, and you guys need to start embracing it. Cody, I don't think he was really serious about cutting Vince McMahon's head off. I don't think it should be on the radar to take down a WWE because nobody's going to take down a WWE. If AEW exists as a number 2 company for as long as they are around, I will be absolutely thrilled. The only thing I want here is exactly what I mentioned before. No one's going to take down WWE. If AEW exists and makes WWE better and WWE remains the number 1 company and they get better because of AEW existing, I will live a very happy pro wrestling life. If AEW exists as a number 2, and then there's a number 3 and a number 4, and that's the landscape of wrestling for as long as we are alive, I'll be happy. I'll be happy. I don't want AEW to overtake WWE. It's good to have goals, but the goals have to be realistic. Do what you need to do to make sure that you are interesting in the fans' eyes. Do what you need to do to make sure that talent is happy. Do what you need to do to make sure that talent who isn't signed with your company is intrigued about coming on in and making themselves better. That's what you need to do. So, again, we don't want WWE to fail. Nobody should want AEW to fail. As long as WWE's number 1 and All Elite Wrestling is number 2 for the foreseeable future, and AEW makes WWE better, I'm fine. That's what happened at the Fair and Rally, man. A lot of stuff going on. I will continue to update you guys right here on Off the Script. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Follow me on social media, both on Instagram and Twitter, at JD from NY206. Please make sure you guys go check out the rest of the videos that I uploaded during the week. Ton of content for you guys to catch up this weekend. And I will see you all right back here on Off the Script, 5 p.m., where we talk about Randy Orton and the Usos possibly joining AEW, plus Rusev unhappy and Sasha Banks with yet another cryptic tweet about leaving the WWE, man. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you guys right back here on Off the Script at 5 p.m. I'll see you then.